maybe in the future we will have AI robots doing all sorts of things for us. Elon Musk says they've got a 20% likelihood of doing something bad, but an 80% likelihood of doing something good. I'm not sure that's a good ratio. Let's talk to Charlie Mullins, because he's a man who knows a thing or two about employing people, and he's probably not that happy about this new law that the Labour Party are going to bring in to make workers' rights much more of a thing. Charlie, very good morning to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy idea what they're doing. It just shows that they're clueless exactly trying to come up with this workers' rights where you've got equivalent to being there for 2 years from the first day. It's going to cause many problems in the workplace. There's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety now of who you're going to employ. I think the businesses are going to employ less people now because of this problem, and certainly you're going to be more and more careful on taking on youngsters, because youngsters tend to move around a little bit when they first start with you or when they first get into the workplace, and you're just not going to, it has just wiped out thousands of youngsters' careers and many other people's careers. He seems to think it's going to bring in more money. I can assure you it won't.
No.
It will go have opposite effects.
That's the problem, isn't it? Because one of the things they're going to push for, which is going to be very, very much applauded by Generation Z, or Gen Z as they call them, is the flexible working part of it, where you can go, no, sorry, I want to work from home. I mean, you run a plumbing business, you can't do that from home. You've got to go into somebody else's home. You've got to get into a van. You've got to have a load of stuff to take with you. How can you do it from home?
Well, exactly. I mean, it's an unfair system. It's out of date anyhow. We don't need it no more. That was COVID days.
Right.
And again, you've got the employee dictating to the employer, and when you get that cannot work in business. People start thinking that we're old Victorian sort of bosses, and
right.
We're with people. We want people to work for us. We want people to be comfortable at work, but you cannot have people dictating when they're coming in, where they're going to work from. And even the fact now is going to be who you can employ, who you can't employ. Right. It's just destroyed it. I mean, I would say it's the worst policy that any Prime Minister ever come up with in the workplace. He will destroy the economy. And it just goes to show that how clueless they are on it with the type of people that they've got there, Rayner, Reeds. I mean, they're just not people that you would have anywhere near you, let alone the country.
Well, we've looked at. I think the cabinet makeup right now does not include anyone that's ever run a business.
That's correct. You're right there. I mean, I checked that out, and you're right. None of them have ever run a business. They always work for civil service or charities or non-profitable business. They are absolutely clueless, and everybody's saying it now, and everybody that gets it will say that this is a terrible move to bring it into the workers' rights. I mean, already we're reconsidering, the company I've got now, We Fix London, we're reconsidering apprentices and other youngsters because they move around a lot. And, they say that evidently this workers' rights you're still going to have a 9-month probationary period. But if you get rid of someone because you say they're not suitable, they're going to be screaming their head off that, it's unfair dismissal. Yeah. And it's just so, it's so going against the employer, and they're just going to destroy businesses. And I mean, I wish we wasn't opening up the company now, We Fix, but if it gets too difficult with employing people with what they think is their rights, then we just move abroad. I mean, it's simple as that. We just go to Dubai. And I think lots of people are already considering that now, getting out of the country because of the workers' rights. I mean, who in their right mind would want to employ people, expand your business, knowing that from day one they're running the show?
Yeah.
And they milk that. I mean, I think the government are under the impression that all the workers are honest. I mean, yes, probably 90% are, but you've got a lot of people in there, troublemakers, and they will milk the system as much as they can.
Exactly right. And Charlie, in terms of how that would affect your business, in terms of, who you can employ and what rights that they have and what you can give them in terms of time off and all of that. I mean, can you put a value on that? How much that would cost your business if all this goes through?
Oh, well, obviously it's going to be a massive additional cost because you're going to have to get ready to face tribunals because, they're going to play that card whenever they want.
Right. So you've got legal fees and all that?
Yeah, I mean, everything's going to go up because of it. Less people will be employed. No one's going to take a risk now with anybody. And you know, and you know, with us, if someone ain't right, you know, we just get rid of it. It's not about sort of race. It's not about you know, their workers' rights. It's about whether they're suitable for the job.
Yeah.
And actually, look, let's be fair. If that policy was in, Starmer's not suitable for the job. They need to get rid of him. And Rayner and Reaver, they're not suitable. They're not right for the job. I mean, if I was running a government, they would be gone today. Because, and I wouldn't care about unfair dismissal. They're not right. They're not suitable. They're doing something that they're not qualified to do, and they're messing the country up. They're going to break the UK. These people.
I know, they absolutely don't know what they're doing. I mean, I spoke to an employment lawyer the other day though, and she said most of what they're proposing probably won't come into effect for another 18 months or so, and much of it won't really make any difference. But it doesn't sound like you see it that way.
Oh, of course not. I mean, look, you know, they whether it comes in 18 months or 8 years' time, the fact that people are now going to be working on this and playing on this, already businesses will shut down or not employ people. It has destroyed so many youngsters' careers now by doing what it's doing. We will start taking on more older people because they tend to, you know, move around less. But, you know, it's absolutely... people are going to go abroad. People are going to put their business abroad.
Yeah.
Why would you take a chance on an unfair system when an employer employs people? He doesn't do it because he doesn't want them there and he wants to get rid of them. He's hoping it work out. It costs them a lot of money to train them and try and sort of, you know, get them into the company. So we don't really want to get rid of people, but, you know, there is troublemakers out there. There is waste of time people, and there is people that are going to abuse the system. And he's just opened the floodgates. You see the tribunal cases that are going to happen now.
Absolutely. Charlie, listen, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. And Charlie Munn is founder of Pimlico Plumbers and, of course, now running We Fix It London. A fascinating man, an entrepreneur, a bloke who knows how to make a bob or two and knows how to run a business. He says that what Labour want to do is an absolute nightmare for business and it won't work.